From Carter's new app to short-term rentals to flooding in Charleston to his own feature, City of Charleston Councilman Mike Seekings sits down with me one-on-one for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Well, it's so good to see you.
Glad to be here. Thanks for coming by.
Anytime. Well, let me jump into the obvious. And let me talk about it. Now, you said this in the postal quarry quote. This app is a key tool in the writing experience and is the first of several digital steps we'll be taking this fall to make Carta more appealing. So what's appealing about the app?
Well, let me just start by saying, Carta has really come a long way in a short period of time. Over the last 2 years, we've stepped up our game. We've gotten ourselves out of debt. We have started a process of replacing our fleet. We have 90 new buses either on the road or in process of being delivered to Charleston or being built for us. We're now getting into the technology game, which we should have gotten into a long time. So the app really represents a very tangible piece of progress that we've made at Carta to bring a better experience to our riders. And being able to keep a track of your bus, where you are, where you're going in real time, which you can do on the app, which you can do on the website, or you can actually use just your phone to get a text. Know where your buses are, know where they're going. It's just a great way for us to start in the process of upgrading our system to make the experience for our riders more efficient, more enjoyable, and ultimately much more palatable.
And you also said this to the postal quarry too. We're sensitive to the fact that not everyone has a smartphone, and we want to provide as many options as possible for all of our riders, that is. So what are those options?
Well, you can go to our website. You can use your smartphone. If you don't have one, you can actually use your phone. If you have a flip phone or any other phone, you can send in, you can call in. The numbers, I'll have it right here. It's 843-202-4410, and put in your bus stop number. They'll tell you where your bus is, when it's coming, the next 2 rides, or they'll send you a text. So there's really lots of ways now to get in touch with us. And the other thing is this system is interactive. If you've got feedback for Carta, go on our website, which will be up and running in the next week or so, and you can tell us what's going on in your experience. And look, one of the things we know for sure is we've got some basic service right now that we're trying to upgrade. We're getting new buses. We've got now some technology. Now we got to look at our routing, and we got to see where we go and whether we're servicing the areas that people actually need to go, want to go, and are going. So all of this is great. We have new fare boxes, by the way, coming up, which are coming onto the buses, which are also technologically advanced. You can use your smartphone for a pass. You can buy passes online. So we're connected. It's exciting that we can sit there and connect. I was talking the other day and said, it used to be we started off our Carta board meetings talking about millions. That was the millions of miles that were on our buses and the millions of dollars we owed. Now we're talking about the millions of people that we can reach every day and get them into the experience. So ultimately, where we're heading, as you know, is low country rapid transit, but one step at a time. And I think this step, with the technology, with the app, is really a step that brings us a quantum leap forward in the customer service process.
And when I talk with people like William Hamilton, they ask for routes such as the beaches and whatnot. What do you say about that?
Well, what I say about routes in general is this. We have our charge, and we are committed to providing service to and from places that our riders need and want to go. We've been to the beaches. We'd love to go back to the beaches. There's lots of places we'd love to go. Ridership at the beaches was not there. Ridership in certain parts of the county wasn't there. But as we grow, we'll continue to look at it. We have mayors and representatives from Folly Beach, from Sullivan's Island, and from the Isle of Palms on our board. We're talking to them every day. So keep an eye out for that. We will, once we can support a route to any one of those 3 places, or all 3 of those places, we'll do it.
Can you have Mount Pleasant supporting Carta?
Mount Pleasant does support Carta. I think that some of the press that you read and some of the debate over confirming and adopting our budget was politics, not really a measure of support. As you know, we've got 2 members on our board from Mount Pleasant, including Mayor Page. So we're working hard with Mount Pleasant to get them integrated, to give them service, and to get them supporting Carta, not just with their votes at council, but with some money too.
Speaking of votes, let me turn to short-term rentals here in the City of Charleston.
Right.
The postal quarry says this. The City of Charleston Short-Term Rental Task Force voted Monday to send a proposal for new regulations to the city's Planning Commission. The group's 9-2 vote to move the proposal forward to the Planning Commission followed more than 6 months of discussion and debate about how short-term rentals should be regulated. A draft ordinance could be presented at City Hall this fall.
Okay, so first off, as you know, I don't sit on the short-term rental task force, and I've been to a few of the meetings, not for all of of them.
Right.
And let me say this, particularly for downtown, we have regulations in place on short-term rentals. There is a part of the city where there's a short-term rental overlay zone where it's legal. The rest of the city, short-term rental being defined as any rental less than 30 days is not. My position is we need to keep it that way, and we need enforcement, and we need enforcement now. I don't see any need to be changing any of that, other than to make it so that we have the tools available to us in the city of Charleston to get out there and enforce what we have on the books. Short-term rentals are a major issue for us downtown. If you change a street from a residential street to essentially a string of hotels, you change the fabric of that street. You change the dynamic of that street. You make it almost impossible to police and provide fire for. It is something that really will break apart our communities, and I am very, very anxious to make sure that we get out ahead of this and let people know we support communities. And the way to do that is to make sure that the people who are living in their houses are the people who live in their houses.
Another issue you guys are still facing, and will face facing the issue in the future, that is flooding.
Well, every day flooding's an issue. It can be a sunny day with a high tide in downtown Charleston, and you've got water. You saw it today, yesterday. Put on top of that a tidal surge, a band of a hurricane, a rainstorm, a storm of the century. You can call it anything you want. We have water management issues in downtown Charleston and in West Ashley. For me and my district in downtown, some of the things we need to address right away, the low battery. We have to make sure we raise the low battery. That's coming. Keep an eye out on October 4th. We're going to roll out the plan. The Calhoun West Drainage Project, which will address some of the really deep-seated and deep flooding problems on the west side of the peninsula, including the hospital district, which was essentially shut down on the backside of Irma and the tidal surge. That's unsustainable. Calhoun West is a key project of all the public works projects in the city that we need to get done. It's going to be long-term, it's going to be expensive, but there's no excuse for not doing it. We must do it.
What's next with City Council?
Well, you know, we're wrestling with a lot of things. If you look into the soul of City Council last night, I mean, we talked about drainage in West Ashley and the Church Creek Drainage Basin. We're looking at downtown drainage issues. We still have some zoning things that we have to wrestle with. I think really for right now for City Council, where we are at the end of 2017, rolling into 2018, is in a place that we have to address issues citywide. We can't do them regionally. We have regional issues, but there are citywide solutions, and actually beyond the city. If you look at drainage, if you look at transportation, if you look at housing, those are the three things that I think in 2018 we're going to have to address every day and make sure that we make it more affordable to live here, make it easier to get around in terms of transportation, and make sure that we're not shut down on any just high tide day. So I think the future for City Council is to really focus as a group on the big picture and get away from some of the things that we've been doing on a more localized basis, recognizing we each represent a district, we're all single member district representatives, and not give up on making sure each district gets proper oversight and representation. But I think the big picture is something we got to keep our eye on.
I gotta play hardball with you.
Well, okay.
What's the big picture for you?
Well, the big picture for me, for sure, we started today talking about Carta, and that's why you asked me to come and talk. And so let's start there. Carta and transportation, regional transportation. You can't do transportation on a district basis or even a city basis. We have to have a regional transportation plan. We don't have one. Low Country Rapid Transit, which is in our future, is a start. But we have to work together with the city, the county, with the state legislature, and the feds. We've never had a large-scale regional transportation plan or system. So that's certainly on the books. Secondly is flooding, drainage, sea level rise. All of those things affect all of us in the city and in the region every day. So, you know, those two things to me are absolutely the forefront. Of course, we can't forget about, we have a police chief and a fire chief, but all of those things will fall in place. The big infrastructure issues.
Well, Councilman Mike Seegans, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Good to see you.
You too.